Hi YouTube, I'm here again from Democrats Kids. I watched some of Sarah Palin's speech and I've read a lot about her. She seems a very nice lady, young and pretty. I could see just why John McCain would love her as running mate, an old decrepit man that looks like he's gonna die any day. Now, I'm impressed that Palin made her way from a soccer mom to governor of Alaska, but nowhere near as impressed as I am with Barack Obama. I'm here to tell Hillary supporters that have gone over to the dark side, and Republicans who will listen, Sarah Palin is not the lady we want right now. First of all, the Republicans praise Palin for her feat from soccer mom to governor of Alaska, while they scoff at a man who woke up at 4 a.m. every morning because his mom made him take huge courses when he was about 8, who could have done anything after graduating from college. Wall Street wanted him and he was a publicized writer, but he picked instead to go work in the poor neighborhoods of Chicago, helping minimum wage workers argue for their rights. Sarah Palin may say that it's not an accomplishment, but do any of you think that if she could have done anything she wanted, she would have helped argued for poor people's rights? No! First of all, she couldn't have done anything she wanted. That's why she was just a soccer mom. Also, Palin, like every other member of your great party, Republicans, only cares for rich people like themselves. They don't care at all for people that really need help, and if they do, only to help them win an election, so they can help themselves even more. Barack Obama became a community leader. I believe that has much more responsibility than the mayor of some small town in Alaska. Tons of poor people were counting on him, and supporting him so that he could prevail, and in the end, they all did. Then Barack Obama went to the Senate, and probably had the most active career of any senator during his 3 years. You laugh at a man like him for having not enough experience, yet you love a lady who was elected governor of a state with a quarter of the population of Brooklyn, probably only because she was pretty? For you rich people, that shows a profound interest in only caring for yourselves. Now, about views. Palin wants the Constitution amended so that gay people can be legally discriminated against, even more than they already are. Is that fair? Is that Mrs. Palin helping the people? Is a gay person any less than Sarah Palin? Frankly, I'm sure the gay person is way more than Sarah Palin, just because she discriminates against people just for what they think about sex. Does it really matter? Aren't there more important things? I'm pretty sure there are. Also, Palin believes that Alaska was brought into the Union only for its resources. Now that may be partially true, but aren't we smarter now than old Secretary of State Seward who annexed it? People didn't even care then. They called it Seward's icebox because they thought there was nothing there. Sarah Palin just wants to prove that there is something there. In fact, that something is oil, the single most destroying thing in the world, I believe. Alaska has immense beauty, beautiful glaciers and forests and mountains that stretch across the entirety of the biggest state in the U.S. However, Sarah Palin doesn't give a damn for the beauty of her land. All she cares about is destroying it so she can get the oil from underneath and make the price of gasoline lower for a very short time. People, oil is not the solution. It's not even a solution. Oil is what is melting the gorgeous glaciers in Alaska. Oil from Alaska would first of all destroy all the ecosystems there, and it would only bring down the cost of gas for a short while. Then the problem would be back even worse, because there would be less oil. Same thing with McCain's plan for drilling in the ocean. If you've ever looked at a biodiversity chart, for when one species totally dominates and destroys the others, in the end, that one species will be destroyed because of that. The problem of oil needs to be solved now. I believe that the only answer is alternative fuels, right now. Americans are suffering. I know, my family is one of them. But releasing our dependence on foreign oil and changing it to dependence on our own would make the problem much worse in the long run. Europe has been dealing with gas prices this high for ages. It's time we learn to, too. Personally, I believe that the tax on gas should be raised, but other taxes should be lowered. Barack Obama plans on getting rid of all the government programs sucking up our money, which don't do anything, so we can have more money to do what's right, or just not tax people as much. George Bush has cut almost all funding of science, including tons of scientists working on developing affordable, good alternative fuels. You can sure as heck believe that McCain and Palin aren't going to bring that funding back. Hello, people. I don't think that's change. I'm pretty sure it's just more of the same. Also, Sarah Palin, like most of the people running our country right now, is a total fundamentalist Christian. Now, personally, I don't care about her religion. She can be whatever religion she wants, and I wouldn't discriminate against her. However, going as far as trying to force religion on the entire United States is going a little too far. In fact, I believe that crosses a little line that Republicans seem to ignore, called separation between church and state, written in the Constitution. Republicans really don't seem to care that much about the Constitution. It's just one big bore. Hello, Jewish Republicans. Anybody home? I don't think that fundamentalist Christian leadership is what you want. Her religion is what makes her ready to deny people simple rights given in the Constitution just because it contradicts the Bible. If Sarah Palin wants life to be like the Bible, she needs to get out of Alaska and take a look at reality. In the Bible, women didn't have any rights, and people were told to multiply as fast as they can. Considering the gross overpopulation of the world right now, maybe a lot of gay couples would be a good thing. Palin is also totally against abortion. You know why? Because in the Bible it says that probably isn't right. The Bible is thousands of years old. You can believe what you want to believe, but you can't run the country by the Bible. Actually, the Bible also says that you should help the poor. Sarah Palin hears that she can control people's lives, but she doesn't hear the best lesson in the Bible. It's also pretty hypocritical because the Republican Party is supposed to be less about government, and less control. But when it comes to totally personal matters, the Republicans want to control our lives. Also, Palin wants intelligent design to be taught alongside the theory of evolution in schools. Are we the apes we evolved from? Can't we understand that the world was not created in 6 days? That Eve was not born from Adam? Can't we look at every bit of evidence scientists show us, every skeleton of the Neanderthals and Cro-Magnons, and realize that we did slowly evolve from apes? Are we too short-minded for that? Is that the America we live in? Is that what America is? John McCain has changed tons of his views to be exactly like Bush's, and has voted with Bush 90% of the time. 10% better is not good enough. I want, and I think you should too, 100% better with Barack Obama. I'm not going to go into a list of things that Obama will do. That's for another video. But I think I've made my point. Sarah Palin is not going to do anything for women's rights. She's not going to be any different from America's legend, George W. Bush. All she cares about is oil and money. I believe that if Obama loses, it will only be because our country, the great country of America, is just too racist and short-minded to elect an African-American genius to the presidency. If you don't want to fit that stereotype, plan on voting for Barack Obama right now.